हो गए या मास्क वास्क उतार दूं? Okay. Thank you, everyone. This is Asfar Hussain, and I am the program manager at National Incubation Center, Karachi. And I am joined by Mr. Haris Iqbal, who works with the NITB, and he has amazing insights about the technology industry as a whole and about startups and what they should do and how they should pitch. And with that, we have the NIC team as well and the NIC startups, all very eager to learn from the insights shared by Mr. Haris. So, without wasting further time, I would now request Haris Saab and formally welcome him to share with us what startups should do and how they should pitch. So, more about the art of pitching and presenting from Haris Saab. So, over to you, Haris Saab. And
okay, thank you. Thank you, Asfar. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. So my name is Haris. I currently work as the project director for the National IT Board and the National Command and Operations Center, where we are working to better manage COVID-19. So I've been working for the last 20 odd years in all kinds of roles, starting from an engineer all the way up to C-level. And hopefully today I'll be able to share some things I've learned from my experience of presenting all over the world for the last 10 odd years. So with that, let me start. I'm in my office, so I'm sorry if I'm interrupted in the middle. We are actually planning to launch vaccines, inshallah, next week. So a little busy with that. Okay, so I've structured this session today in two parts. One is how to create the ideal presentation. What should a presentation cover? How should you present it? What should you keep in mind when preparing to deliver a presentation? And the second part is pitching. So it could be an investor pitch. It could be a pitch in the case of what you have when you pitch to NIC. It could be an elevator pitch, right? It could be a pitch to other colleagues of yours, other friends of yours, to have them come on board. So we'll explore what you should do or keep in mind when you are trying to, create and deliver that pitch that will hopefully get you what you are looking for. So, I mean, I want to start off with asking if somebody can provide me some input in terms of, I mean, we all know, or we all strive to make that perfect presentation, right? And we present more often than not. I mean, we often confuse presentations with PowerPoint only, but in reality, we are presenting every day. We're presenting in some way or the other. So if somebody could, from the audience, share with me, what do you think makes for an ineffective presentation? Or what if you were in the audience and you were gauging a presentation, how would you feel that a presentation was not effective and it did not live up to its expectations?
Imran or Sadaf? Yes. Imran, Sadaf, can you share what makes an ineffective presentation? या तो सदफ बता दें, इमरान बता दें, और
it's Imran from Tensor Minds. Actually, my take presentation is the thing depends on the flow of the presentation itself, including the introduction you give about your startups. And the thing matters is the objective and how to market the products in between according to the basic needs and requirements of the clients itself. It depends on and to whom you are presenting.
Okay. Any other feedback answers? Okay, let me just add my 2 cents here. I mean, I have delivered hundreds, maybe thousands of presentations in my life and sat through many as well. For me, the biggest turnoff for me when I'm listening to presentation is one, unpreparedness. if you aren't prepared for your presentation, if you have not gone through your material in detail, if you are surprised by the slides that are coming up, and I've sat through presentations where a slide has come up and the person presenting is looking at it like he or she is seeing it for the first time, right? That clearly means that you haven't spent enough time, revising your material. You haven't practiced enough. That is one thing. Another thing that makes for a really ineffective presentation is not understanding the objective of the presentation. So with every meeting or every presentation you should always have an objective in mind before going to that meeting or going for the presentation. That what is it that you want to obtain when you leave from that meeting? What is it that you want to get from your audience, from your customer, from your investor, whoever you're presenting to? Excuse me. What is it that you intend to have? What is going to be the criteria on which you will gauge your presentation to be successful? So that is very important. And once you decide that, you have to make sure that your presentation covers that and that you are able to successfully deliver upon those criteria that you've laid out for yourself, and ensure that you come back from the client, from that investor, from that customer with whatever you had pre-decided for yourself, right? So, these are 2 or 3 things that I personally feel are very important, and they make a big impact if you do them properly, and they can be a big problem if you don't do them properly. So, I've divided this and I've taken this from material I've studied that, in very generic terms, if you want to give a good presentation, and it could be for anything, right? I'm not just speaking about in this section. The first part of my session here is not about just in pitches, right? It's about presenting it as a whole, right? So once you have your pitch approved, you may need to go to a VC, you may need to go to customers, right? So whatever you're doing, whatever type of presentation you're doing, there are 4 things that are really important. You need to know your audience, right? You need to know your purpose. You need to know your material, like I just mentioned, and you need to know yourself. I'll come back to that one at the end. I'll just quickly go through these one by one. If somebody has any question in the middle, feel free to interrupt and let me know. So know your audience, right? This is really important, right? You need to understand who you're presenting to, right? Is it a customer? Are you presenting to your boss? Is it an internal presentation? Is it a presentation for funding, right? And not only do you need to categorize your audience, then you need to plan for them accordingly. So, for example, I heard some pitches from the cohorts of Karachi about a month back, or slightly older than that. And a lot of the groups who had come with their pitches were too focused on the technical aspects of it. Now, what they failed to realize was that the panel evaluating them are not all tech people. They're not all technology people, right? So, whilst technology is important for your pitch, you need to focus on other aspects that will engage the judges, the panelists that are there to listen to your presentation, to your pitch. So you really need to understand and tailor whatever you're presenting to ensure that you cover the audience that you're presenting to. So a quick question here. So suppose I give you a scenario that tomorrow your company is going to present to Habib Bank. Whatever your product is, you're going to Habib Bank to present or sell your product. So my question to you now is, how will you gather information about your audience? A meeting has been set up and Director Marketing, Director Sales, and Director Technology will be in that meeting tomorrow. So my question is, how will you gather information about your audience? So can somebody answer that for me? A lot of quiet people in the room.
Okay, so starts, if you could maybe just type in the chat and then we could read it out for you.
क्या ये उमर पूछ सकते हैं? उमर पूछें, मुस्फिरा, सलार, सदफ. Do you have any questions? Aman, Azhar.
Okay, whilst So from the chat, LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn. Please.
अभी बैंक का आपने जिक्र किया, अभी आप सपोज पिच कर रहे हैं तो आप कैसे देखेंगे? सो आई गो थ्रू सबसे पहले मैं देखूंगा उनका मिशन और उनकी वैल्यूज का है और वो रिलेट कर रही हैं मेरे मिशन या मेरे स्टार्टअप पेज से उनकी विजन कि वो करना चाहेंगे उस विजन और उस वैल्यूज में जो मेरा स्टार्टअप पेज है. सो दैट्स आई थिंक ए लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेटजी. सो आई लुक इनटू इट.
Good. I mean, that is one of the easiest ways and most effective ways is to search them online, go to their website. So if you are presenting something, a product which will help them with their business, for example, मतलब आपने for example कोई ऐसी पोर्टल बनाई है या आपने कोई ऐसी ऐप बनाई है that will help a BBank with their business or that will help them grow their business, it would be a very good idea to go and read their annual report, read their financial reports, right? Try to understand which direction the company is heading, where is the company investing in, right? So try to get, अगर कंपनी ने कोई लेटेस्ट एक्विजिशन किया है, गूगल में आपको आर्टिकल मिलता है, they have partnered with somebody, right? You may want to incorporate that, include that in the presentation, bring it up. Remember one thing, a customer of any type, right? Whether, like I said, investor है, VC है, जो भी है, he or she loves it when you know about them. If you come prepared, आपको पता है जी कि फॉर एग्जांपल हबीब बैंक ने 3 दिन पहले एक बहुत बड़ा क्लाइंट साइन किया या हबीब बैंक ने 1 महीना पहले अपना बैंकिंग सिस्टम अपग्रेड किया, and if you know that, right, the customer knowing that you are prepared, you have come prepared, makes the customer very happy. Yeah, they've come, they've done their homework, right? So that is very, very important. Always try to research your audience before you go for any presentation, right? I normally, like I said, I presented all over the world. I normally, LinkedIn किसी ने लिखा था, I do, if I know them, I'm going to meet the CTO of British Telecom, right? I'm going to go to LinkedIn, find him, right? I'm going to find him, I'm going to see what he's written about himself, where he has worked, try to see how I can connect to him when I will meet him, right? So extremely important that you research your audience. Okay, good. Moving further, right? So, okay, so second thing was know your purpose, right? So you have different purposes for presenting. In the case of a pitch, you want to get approval or you want to be recommended, right? Like for instance, you were presenting to NIC, so you wanted to get selected, right? You could be presenting for information, right? Or increasing awareness, right? Like we present every day to our committee here at the NCOC and to the provinces about the latest COVID trends, what we are doing, where we are locking down, right, etc. So we provide that information to different high-level stakeholders every day. Change attitude, create emotion, right? So you could be presenting to somebody. I could be presenting to a group of really wealthy people that I want them to donate to Shaukat Khan Memorial Hospital, right? So I want to, and then I show them videos of what Shaukat Khan has done and the lives of people it's changed, etc. So I could be doing it for that purpose. And finally, you could be presenting for, or it could be a training, or you could be presenting to create some new skills, like I'm doing right now, right? Hopefully, you can learn something from this session. So, I mean, you really need to understand what your purpose is. So because I'm not trying to sell you anything today, I'm presenting in a very informal manner to you. If I were trying to sell something to you, if I were trying to get your business, right, I would be presenting in a totally different manner. So you really need to understand what your purpose is and what you really are there to present for. Okay. I mean, know your material. I can't stress this enough, right? You need to be on top of everything. You cannot have something in your presentation, in your slides, in your materials that you do not know fully. You cannot be guessing, right? Because you may not fully know something, but somebody in your audience may know it, right? And then he or she will point you out. So go through your material, ensure your material has come from reliable sources, right? Do not quote, don't quote sources or don't quote numbers or figures where you can't really back it up. So make sure that you quote and use sources that are valid and that are reliable, and make sure that you have gone through the material and you're very comfortable with it. Have somebody vet it, right? Have somebody else review it. That'd be really great. But make sure you're very comfortable with the material. Okay, finally, know yourself, right? So remember, everybody's different, right? Everybody has their own strengths, own weaknesses, own style of presenting, right? Own language. You really need to understand what works for you, right? And you need to, you may have heard this phrase a lot, play to your strengths. You need to play to your strengths, right? You need to make sure that your presentation is structured in a way that it is playing to your strengths. So you need to evaluate and continually evaluate yourself. What are your strong points? What are you good at, right? And you need to focus on that. So some aspects of it is, right? For example, the way you stand, the way you dress, right? It really tells a lot about you. Your posture, the way you use sign language really tells a lot about you, right? Your confidence level, extremely important, right? People will pick up on the fact that you are comfortable and confident presenting something versus where you're very hesitant and very nervous in trying to communicate something. So remember, communication, and not just audio, but communicating in all aspects is very, very important. Okay, I mean, you must have heard this a lot. You have to make sure you maintain eye contact, that you are looking at your audience, confidently. You're not trying to avoid them. You're nervous. You're looking at the ceiling. You're looking left and right. So make sure that you try to maintain some level of eye contact with your audience to ensure that you can build that level of trust with the people that you're presenting to. I mean, sound is very important. How slow or how fast you speak, the kind of pitch you use. You don't want to be too monotone, right? So you don't want it to sound like it's just going in one static wavelength. You want to play around with your voice. You want to play around with sound to make sure that you are conveying important things, maybe in a slightly higher pitch as opposed to normal text or normal material in a slightly lower pitch. So make sure that you keep that factor in mind. I mean, I'm not a big Apple guy. I'm sure some of you are, but I was really a big Steve Jobs guy. So I mean, I've watched all his keynotes, right? And I've watched them again as well. And I mean, for me, he's probably one of the best presenters I've seen. He doesn't use a stack of slides, right? He doesn't use fancy animations. But the way he captivates and captures the attention of thousands of people sitting in the auditorium and the millions of people that are watching him when he's presenting online, his keynote, I mean, that's fantastic. And it's because, one, he's very passionate about what he's presenting, as you can judge. Two, he knows what he's presenting. And most importantly, he knows what is the message that he wants to deliver. And he does it so well, right? I mean, he did it so well. So if some of you haven't, I'd advise you to definitely watch his keynotes. They give you great material on how you should present, how you should structure yourself, how you interact, right? And how you get the audience involved in the presentation. So extremely impressive. So, and I mean, like it says in the slide, how you stand, how you look, right? Sign language, again, extremely important. I use some of these. You shouldn't, right? It's see, came here again. But try to avoid using filler words as much as possible, right? Everyone has filler words that they use when they are stuck. So, for example, I've seen cricketers a lot when they are giving interviews use the filler word, So they'll be like, oh, we played really well, and the pitch was really good, and the team overall the team performance was good, and Babar Azam played really well, and that would become a filler word for them. So the way you can avoid it is, obviously have somebody listen to you, right? Or tape yourself, right? Record yourself, audio or video, and try to listen to yourself and try to identify how much you're using these filler words and try to avoid them as much as possible. I mean, I have tried taping myself. I used to say a lot. I still say it because it's you normally use a filler word when you're trying to get your breath back, or when you're trying to think for a second, but try to pause or try to leave the audience with a message or with a line where they can think and respond back whilst you get your breath back and you're able to continue that conversation. So any questions so far? Let me check the chat to see. Okay. Hang on. Going problem. Please suggest. Okay. So Umar is asking gestures, postures, and related ideas for Zoom presentations as we have to virtually present to. Okay, excellent question. Good. I think somebody has raised their hand as well. Let me quickly answer Umar's question, and then we'll come to the person who's raised their hand. So when you're presenting for Zoom, you have to be dressed. You cannot have your hair not combed. You cannot be wearing, a T-shirt with a funny message on it, right? If you have a formal presentation, so for example, if you're presenting to NIC as a potential, you want to be part of the cohort, I'd expect you to be dressed formally, right? I'd expect to be dressed formally. I'd expect the background behind you to be not distracting, right? So you wouldn't want to have a television at the back. So if I'm presenting, there's a television at the back or there's something moving at the back, that is going to be distracting. When you're presenting online, you want the other person or the audience to focus on you, not on what's happening behind you. Of course, it goes without saying you want to be presenting in a place where there aren't kids walking behind you. I'm sure we've all seen videos, really viral videos where people from, for example, on CNN are presenting and the kids walk into the room. At times it's unavoidable, but you want to make sure that you're presenting in a room, in a place where you have some privacy. There is no background noise. The actual visual background behind you is static, it's not moving, and that you're dressed properly and that you have combed your hair and you are presentable. Just because it's online doesn't mean that you should not be presentable. So make sure that you get ready approximately the same way that you would get ready if you were going and presenting somewhere. So that is one part. I think somebody had their hand up. So if they want to ask their question, please go ahead. Does somebody have their hand up? No? Okay, so let's move further. So very quickly, there are three key parts to a presentation, and you'd want to make sure that you keep these three parts as a minimum. So think of it as a nice, juicy burger. Intro, body, conclusion. One thing to note here is that, and this is not just because of the picture, but this is the way it should be. Your intro and conclusion combined are approximately the duration of your body. And I'm not talking about a very long presentation, of course. The longer it is, so for example, if it's a 10-minute presentation, the intro and conclusion would approximately be 2.5 to 3 minutes, and your body would be about approximately 6 to 7 minutes. If it's a 5-minute session, like for example, you guys had with your pitches, then your intro and conclusion would be about 2 minutes, and your body would be approximately the same as well. Because you try to cover a lot in your intro and conclusion when you have short times. I mean, this focus on this diagram, I mean, it's a very important diagram, right? In terms of this is your impact. This is speaker impact, right? So a big portion is how you look. A very big portion is sound, and the part, maybe 7 to 8% is what you say. So your impact, the impact you'll have on somebody has a lot with how you look and how you sound. Because the kind of personality, the confidence pursue, right? That's really important for the audience to take what you are delivering in a more serious and a more accepting manner. So it is extremely important how you are dressed, like I said, how you sound, how confident you are. If you are nervous and your voice is vibrating and it's shaking, I mean, your audience is going to pick up on it. You may have memorized or gone through your material a lot of times, and you may be really good at it now. That you've gone through the slide, dressed properly. And if you don't sound right, you won't be delivering the required impact that you need. So make sure that, in terms of how you want to interact with the audience, that you are delivering that message in the right way. So in terms of body, you want to focus, you don't want to have too many points. We humans have a very short attention span. If we have too many points, if we have too much material, if you're going into too much detail, your audience will start forgetting what you showed them 5-6 slides ago. So try to have a maximum of 4 points, 4 key areas that you want to discuss. Support each area by facts, evidence, and reasoning, of course, right? And try to use different styles of presenting. So try to use graphics, use images, use animations when and where required, so that your audience is able to interact with you and whatever material you're presenting. So, I mean, in terms of learning styles, so these 3 phases, learn them by heart, learn best by seeing, learn best by hearing, learn best by doing, right? So firstly, you need to tailor the way you're delivering your presentation based on how your audience is reacting, right? I mean, I typically will point out, right? If somebody in my audience is on their mobile phone while I'm presenting, I'll point it out. I'm like, sir, you want to make a important phone call or send a important WhatsApp message, so please do so. I'll wait, right? I'll point them out. Because if they are not giving me the due attention and if they are distracted, then I'm wasting my time. So I'm going to change the way I'm delivering my presentation by seeing how my audience is reacting. Or if I feel that I presented something and my audience, judging from their facial expressions, that they didn't quite understand it, I may just reiterate what I presented again. And then you have to be very good at hearing. If your audience asks you a question, right, not only do you have to answer it properly, but you have to make sure that you keep the questions in mind as you move forward, because they may relate to material that you are presenting in the coming slides. So you want to make sure that you keep the feedback of the audience somewhere at the back of your head. And finally, learn best by doing. Of course, what you see and what you hear, you have to make sure that you change the way you're presenting, or you is responding to whatever material that you're presenting. So the third part of our burger was the conclusion, right? So one thing that's very important is you have to remember the time that you have for a presentation. A normal presentation, you need to make sure you remember the time you're allotted. If you're allotted 30 minutes, you need to make sure that you are done by the 25th minute and you have the last 5 minutes for your conclusion, right? That's assuming that Q&A is going to be after the 30 minutes. You cannot leave it that, that by the time you need to conclude and wrap up, you have no time left. Because the conclusion is a very, very important part. So your presentation may be 30 minutes, it may have an hour, it may have been 2 hours, right? A lot of the audience may have forgotten some things. A lot of the audience or part of the audience may have stepped out of the room for a while, right? Or may have been busy on something else. The conclusion, the last part of the presentation, you should try to summarize what was presented. Try to leave them with something that they can think on, right? So if let me take my Habib Bank analogy back. If I was presenting financial services to them and I was wrapping it up, I'd probably say, so I look forward to this partnership and I look forward to making Habib Bank the next year, Habib Bank's most profitable year ever, right? Leave them with a message or with a tagline that will stick with them, right? Of course, you want to provide references or resources to your presentation if needed. And the last 2 points have asterisk next to them. You may want to get some input from your audience in terms of evaluation forms or Q&A, depends. So you may want to have that as part of your conclusion. Any questions so far? Let me open up chat as well to see if somebody has asked something in chat.
And I'll prefer that all of our attendees in person on Zoom, आप अगर mic पे पूछें तो that will be better.
Okay, I have a question. Then somebody asked me on the mic from Sada Pasha. Would you like to know about your experience of pitching for the first time? Okay, I'll come to that. I've noted that down. I remember that. I'll come to that. We just finished with this part of the presentation. We're going to come with the part on pitching, and I'll come to that. How you overcame your fear. Okay, this is good. This is good. See, so I mean, this is a great question. Overcome your fear of being on the stage. I mean, this is fantastic because presented, I don't know how many times I've presented or how many countries I've presented in, but every time I'm presenting, I'm nervous, right? Typically because I'm presenting to some new people every time. It's not the same people, right? It is nervous. And I mean, there is no way that you are not going to be nervous. So if tomorrow I said to you, Sada, that your business can get $1 million in funding and you have to go and present to these 3 people, I don't care how well you know your product, how good you are at it. You're going to be thinking about it when you sleep tonight that, oh, tomorrow is going to happen. Overcome that I've used, right? One of the biggest fear when they're on set, they may be ridiculed or they may be laughed at or people may find them not competent enough or they may embarrass themselves, right? That is what you feel nervous about the most. And the way you overcome it is, number one, you practice what you're going to present. So you practice, you repeat what you want to say, right? The kind of message you want to give. You know your material very, very, very well. So go through your material and be very comfortable with it. Try to think of questions that people could ask you, right? And think of answers, potential answers you could give to them. Try presenting to your friends or try presenting to somebody in the family. Or if not, try presenting in the mirror or record yourself and then see how you come across. The way you overcome this fear, apart from doing what I said, is by presenting. There's no other way. So as you present, the more you present with the passage of time, the better you'll get at it. I mean, I can't teach you how to overcome that fear unless you don't present. It's like me being a cricket coach. I could tell you all about technique, all about that high elbow, right? And all about getting your whatever. But until I don't get you out on the ground, on the pitch, and don't have you playing bowling, right? You're not going to get better. The same way that I could tell you everything, but until you don't actually start presenting, you won't get better. But yes, it is. I mean, you're right. It's a big fear, and in fact, it's one of the biggest fears is presenting. is in standing in front of people, right? So I saw a survey somewhere. I'll try to share it with you guys. That they asked people their biggest fear, right? I think the second biggest fear people had was snakes. The third biggest fear was darkness. But the single biggest fear was standing in front of people and presenting. So it is definitely, it is a big fear for people to present. And you need to practice and be confident in yourself, in your material, to make sure that you're able to get over it. Okay. Okay, so Q&A. So try to leave time at the end always for questions and answers.
I have a question.
Sure, please.
Yeah, the question is like, if we are presenting to some investors and everything is going smooth, but one question is coming from any investor which is like out of syllabus, and we don't know right now that what is the number, any question which is out of syllabus, out of the page, or out of IF practice. So how to handle or how to answer that question? Like, what is the best lines which we can say that?
Okay. So, okay, good. So whether it's an investor or whether it's a normal presentation, right? You will be at times asked things that you don't have the answer for. So for a start, as I've written, the second point, do not be afraid to say what you do not know the answer, when you do not know the answer to a question, right? That's one part of it. But at the same time, there's another part of it. If the audience, your investor, the VC asks you something that you do not have, but that you should have had, that is something different. So for example, a typical VC will ask you, so you are an online portal, right? You're an online store, for example. You're an online store like Daraz, and you sell different products, for example. And you're trying to get funding, and your VC asks you, what is your customer acquisition cost? Or approximately how much does it cost you to get a new customer? Now, this is something that you should definitely have had an answer to, right? This is something that you should have been prepared for, because your online marketing, your online social media costs, your SEO costs, right? Your marketing team costs are all part of your customer acquisition costs. If you haven't gotten that, that means that you are ill prepared. And apart from apologizing and saying that you'll get back to them, there isn't much you can do. And that would probably be marked as a negative for you. However, if the VC asks you something that you should not have had, right? But if you had it, it would have been great. Like if, for example, they asked you, you're pitching a product like this, and they asked you, do you know what is Amazon's customer acquisition cost? As an example. Now, you do not know Amazon's customer acquisition cost. It would have been great if you had it to compare with what is their cost versus what is your cost. But if you don't have it, you're like, I'm sorry, we don't have that at the moment. That's definitely a good question, and we'll definitely get back to you on that. Don't try to make up something. The important thing is, if you do not know something, politely let them know that's something that you haven't had a chance to look at, or you haven't researched yet, or you haven't gotten around to it yet, and try to move on from there. Don't try to make something up. Don't try to create some facts, because more often than not, the person asking the question probably has an idea of the answer, and he or she may point you out. So very politely, right, try to apologize, be polite, and try to get past it. But at the same time, the first point on this slide, right, very important. Consider what questions may be asked and prepare the answers ahead of time. So like I said, very important. There are things that you should know. There are things that you should have already done. There are things that you should have answers for. Yes, of course, you cannot have an answer for everything. Right? But at the same time, there are things that you should know. And like you said, you used a very good word, the syllabus, right? I should know every question from the syllabus, or at least 90% from the syllabus. If it comes from the remaining 10%, or from out of the syllabus, that's fine. But if I know only 40% of the syllabus, I don't know 60%, plus I don't know anything outside of the syllabus, then I'm in a real problem. So you want to make sure that everything that is critical, crucial, you have an answer for. And beyond that, well, you have to tactfully handle it, be polite, and just say that, you haven't gotten around to that, and you will have an answer for them on that very soon, or that we can email it to you, or we can have it, we'll answer it in our next meeting and whatnot. So that's the way, you can approach it. I think somebody else has asked a question in the chat. How to end the question if someone asks you questions relating to other countries' facts and figures? Yeah. So I answered that, try to have some material. Of course, we'll talk about that in the pitch. I talk about competition as well. But at the same time, of course, you cannot know everything. So be tactful. And you can, another way you can do is try to divert a question. So for example, if I ask you about a competition like Amazon, what is Amazon's customer acquisition cost? And you haven't gotten around to that, but you did calculate eBay's customer acquisition cost. So you say, well, sir, unfortunately, we haven't gotten around to, studying Amazon's model and their customer acquisition cost. However, we have had a chance to have a look at eBay's model and their customer acquisition cost, and that is, and then you've tactfully handled the question, try to more way that you are able to give an answer, but at the same time, you have let them know that that's something that you're going to look at. Okay. I think that is part of the. Okay. So last thing. So Sada asked me about. He asked me how do you manage stage fright? You get nervous. So I remember when I was studying, I had a colleague of mine in my class, really smart guy. You should come first all the time, and very hard work. He couldn't present. When we had class in the presentations hoti thi, and I asked ki bari aati thi, he would stand behind the podium, and I would see his hands shaking. Now this is the smartest guy in the class. मुझे पता है, I know it, we all know it, इसको सब कुछ आता है. ये तो है ही नहीं कि यास को नहीं आता, उसको आता है भाई. I think he's working Nokia these days in UK, I think. Smart guy. सब कुछ आता है उसे. Problem क्या है? Present करने में लोगों के सामने डर लगता है. वो हाथ काम पर है. पसीना आ रहा है. ठीक है. So, I mean, people, everyone is different. उससे लिखवा लें कुछ. You have him write something, you have him create a presentation, fantastic. Just don't have him present it. So, I mean, everyone has their pros and cons. You need to work out ways of managing stress as best as possible for yourself, So, I mean, I gave Ayaz a lot of feedback. यार तू ये कर, तू ऐसे कर, तू इसको ऐसे कर, right? तू ऑडियंस में किसी की तरफ ना देख, तू फिलहाल सिर्फ बैक पे पीछे जो दीवार है ना, तू दीवार के ऊपर पिछली दीवार पे फोकस कर. तू टीचर की तरफ ना देख, right? So your friends, your co-workers can give you a lot of feedback. You cannot become Steve Jobs, for example. कि मैं सोचूं जी कि मैं Steve Jobs की तरह प्रेजेंट कर, नहीं. You try to set goals that you can fulfill and try to measure yourself against those goals. I use the third point a lot. I take a deep breath a lot. You may have noticed. I pause when I drink water, I take a deep breath. For me, that helps calm me down, right? So I use that. Don't be very hard on yourself. We are all humans, right? To err is human. So if you have made a mistake, if a presentation didn't go as planned, don't be very hard on yourself. Try to learn from the mistakes you made, but don't don't be harder, because if you are hard on yourself, trust me, the next time you're presenting, your words will start going through your head again. You will think of your words. And more often than not, you will end up making the same mistakes again. So don't be overcritical of yourself. Try to learn from any mistakes you have made, and try to ensure that you keep encouraging and motivating yourself. So this was the first part of our session. I divided it into two parts, one talking about how to present and then talking about the perfect pitch. So do we have any questions thus far from anyone?
हारिस, एक मैसेज ऊपर आया हुआ था, वो आपसे शायद मैं सोचा। तो एक पार्टिसिपेंट ने पूछा है कि जो जूम को हम यूज कर रहे होते हैं, तो जूम के अंदर किस तरह के हमें चीजों का ख्याल रखना होता है। जब आपने जेस्चर्स की बात की, तो आपके हैंड जेस्चर्स स्पेसिफिकली नजर नहीं आ रहे होते हैं, आप अमूमन बैठ करके प्रेजेंटेशन दे रहे होते हैं, जैसे अभी आप दे रहे हैं। इस पे क्लैरिटी दे दें। दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी आर डूइंग फॉर द पास्ट 1 ईयर, कि हम जूम जब यूज कर रहे हैं तो उसको यूज करते हुए बॉडी लैंग्वेज कैसे दिखाई जा सकती है या एम्बियंस कैसे दिखा सकते हैं।
Okay, good. अच्छा, मैंने थोड़ा सा इसको आंसर किया था when I spoke about don't have a moving background behind you and don't have background noise as well. देखें, for a start, like for example, even today, ये presentation start होने से पहले, I opened my Zoom at about 3:40. I went to Zoom settings, I went to video, and I saw कि क्या नजर आ रहा है पीछे, right? I try to see if I could adjust the lighting behind me. I can probably, if I move it a little towards here, slightly better, in fact, like this, right? And I then spoke to the, so that's very important. Then I positioned the lid of my laptop in a way to show how much I want to show. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like this. My head is in the center. You want to rehearse and see how you're going to appear on the camera to your audience before you connect a session. Test out your sound. You want to test out your audio, your speakers. You want to make sure you have enough sufficient power. You may want to have redundant internet. Like for example, I have this small Jazz device in case internet here fails. So I'll over. You want to be ready. And like I said, I spoke about dressing and the way you look. It's equally important if you are on Zoom versus if you're not on Zoom. And a very important thing that I spoke about earlier was, and I'll speak about it again, what are you going to present? So whatever you're going to present, there has to be a symmetry to it. You have to be, if you're using a presentation, you have to be very careful on the fonts you use, on the colors you use, right? They have to be soft colors. You don't want to use too many bright colors. You want to be consistent with the fonts, with the sizes, with the template, with the theme, right? I really, really, really dislike presentations that are all over the place. Alignment is out. Fonts are different, colors are different, right? You want to be very uniform in that. So those are things that you can keep in mind when you are presenting online on a platform like Zoom, right? So those are some things that you can keep in mind. I hope that answers the question. Okay, so let's move ahead with. So before I go, move ahead, I want to ask. Let me ask someone, because people are hesitant in talking. Let's ask who's eSupplier. So I see somebody eSupplier. Can you tell me what is a pitch? Zuhair, I believe. Zuhair, are you here?
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Zuhair. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Zuhair, what is a pitch, yaar? Can you tell me? And not the cricket pitch. The pitch that you want to give.
Okay, basically showcasing your idea or the product to the target audience.
Okay. Anyone else want to add something to that? What is a pitch?
Let me answer that.
My friends from NSC can answer as well. I mean, I'm not biased against them. They can also answer if they want to. I mean,
It's about selling your ideas to the audience.
Okay, selling your idea to the audience, right? Okay.
I think it's more about how you deliver your message to the audience that actually want to communicate with your audience, like your idea and your message.
Okay, idea, message, selling your idea to the audience. Okay. So for me, it's there are 2-3 very important parts to a pitch, right? So it's a short, very important, short, simple description of your idea that anyone could understand. This is very important. Anyone could understand by the time you ride up 3 floors in a typical elevator. So in approximately, in a good elevator, 3 floors up would take approximately 10 seconds. So if I were so for example, my very good friend and class fellow is the founder of Bikeia, right? If I were to ask him, Yarke, what is Bikeia, right? So what would his answer be in 10 seconds? Moin, you want to tell me? So if you were the founder of Bikeia, what would you tell me? What is your idea? In 10 seconds, how would you explain it?
I would also this is solving a problem by using a mobile phone and motorcycle.
Okay. I'd probably answer it like this, that it is a digital ride-sharing service using motorbikes. A digital ride-sharing service using bikes. Right? So you want your idea to be, you want your pitch to be, or you want to present your pitch in a very, very simple, easy way that is understandable to everyone. You don't want to talk about technology too much. You don't want to talk about apps or mobile app, and you want to keep it in words that are part of everyone's dictionary. Right? So you would want to present your pitch in a way that your grandmother could understand as well. Right? And I'm sure none of our grandmas are IT savvy. And if somebody has an IT savvy grandma, well, they're very lucky, right? So you want to make sure that it is we keep it very simple and straightforward. So now note this, I normally like starting from what things are not. Like I started with what is an ineffective presentation, right? So an elevator pitch is not a sales pitch. It's not a sales pitch, right? You are not pitching a great idea, team, or product, right? What you are pitching is what your company will do for customers, investors, and or society if you're doing something pro bono, for example. So you're not trying to say, okay, I'm making this great mobile app, this mobile app would have this function. No. You want to talk about, I am trying to solve this problem. That, for example, if I'm pitching Careem or Bikeia, that taxis are very expensive in Pakistan. The fares are not regulated, unlike they are in Singapore, for example. And we are trying to solve the problem of public transportation by introducing a service like Careem. So you want to focus on what your business is going to, your company is going to do, not what your company is developing, right? You want to start with that. You want to start with that key point, that what are you going to do? What is the benefit of your company, your business, your idea, right? The last point, pitch how your business will solve a tangible problem or address a burning need that exists today. So if you are creating an online store that is going to sell IT equipment that is imported from UK, so making imported equipment available to everyone in Pakistan at the tip of their fingers, right? You want to understand exactly what you want to first understand. You should be very clear that this is the problem I'm trying to solve. This is the issue I'm trying to solve. And then you come to how you're going to solve it. So that is what your elevator pitch is going to be. Talk about what you're going to do for your potential customers, where you can generate revenue from. I hope that part is clear, right? So here I have an example. So the wrong way to do it, we're the smartest telecom guys in the world, and we are going to install high bandwidth wireless telecom infrastructure in really tall downtown buildings in big cities all over the world, right? Basically, we're trying to enable cell phone access. So now that message, whilst I understand it, a lot of people won't get what that means. A better way to have said it would have been, we enable customers to use their cell phones anywhere inside every building in all major metropolitan areas. Because one problem, I don't know if you guys are aware or not, just I remembered from this particular example, is that cell phone tower, mobile phone signals get weaker the higher you go. So for example, in Burj Khalifa, if you are at the 150th floor, you'd have very weak phone signals. It happens in a lot of high-rise buildings. So you have to install special antennas in these buildings to have coverage throughout the building, right? So that is what they're trying to do in this example. But the top way, the way they've said it versus how you've said it at the bottom, I'm sure you can see the difference in approach and how you want to say something. So what it must have and how you should go about doing it, right? So you need to, I don't know if you're fond of fishing, but the concept of hook or getting somebody hooked on, right? You need to get your audience hooked on at the very start. They have to, your starting 30 seconds have to engage the audience, because an elevator pitch or a pitch isn't very long. So if you're not able to engage them in the first 30 seconds, then you have almost no chance. You have to start or open with something that's really interesting or really addresses a pain point. For example, if I'm making a security app or a safety app, so I'll start off with, do you know that there are 2,555 crimes committed on average every day in Pakistan? Or there are 421 ATM robberies that happen in Pakistan every day. You want to start off with somewhere where the customer, the person, the audience, the VC starts focusing on you. Achha, okay. Now they're waiting for you to move forward, right? If you are not excited about what you're doing, no one else is going to be. I've heard of people pitching, sir, हम असल में ये बनाना चाह रहे हैं कि उस पोर्टल के अंदर ये होगा कि if you are going to speak like this, like somebody has beaten you and put you there at gunpoint, फिर हो गया आपका काम. You need to make sure that you are passionate about your business, about what you're doing, and that passion shows when you're presenting. ताकि अगला बंदा भी excited हो. You have to be very short and crisp. Remember, एक बात मैं आपको बता दूं, जो the higher up you go to present in an organization's hierarchy, आप जितना ऊपर जाते जाएंगे ना, आपको उतना कम टाइम मिलेगा प्रेजेंट करने के लिए. You have limited time to present and get your message across. You want to make sure that you utilize that time as best as you can. And lastly, do not take too long to get to the real part कि आप क्या मसला हल कर रहे हैं. Don't take too long to get to that. Otherwise, जब आप उस पे पहुंचेंगे तब तक वो बंदा अपने फोन पे लगा हुआ होगा या वो इंटरेस्ट लूज कर चुके होंगे. You want to make sure that you bring up that problem. I would ideally bring it up right at the opening. कि जी हम ये मसला ये है इसको ऐसे हल कर रहे हैं. I see something on chat. Let me open it up. Okay, somebody wrote Uber for bicycles. Yeah, okay, marketing. Okay, ठीक. Okay. Let's move forward. So, I mean, you are looking at 6 main elements of every pitch should have. The hook, मैंने जिक्र किया था, the pain point or the heart grabber. Describe what you're offering. मैं ये बना रहा हूँ कि जी the problem is कि public transportation is really, really poor in Pakistan and unsafe for women. We are going to make a digital platform that is going to allow you to access or get transportation at a very low cost, safe transportation at a very low cost. You describe the market, you describe your competitors, you describe how you're different from your competition and other solutions, and then you come with how you make money. तो मेरा सवाल अभी सबसे है कि मेरे जो ऑडियंस है कि मेरे जो कोहोर्ट्स हैं, आपकी पिच में ये 6 की 6 चीजें एड्रेस हो रही हैं कि नहीं? Are you addressing all these things, 6 key things in your pitch or not? और अगर नहीं कर रहे तो कौन सी चीजें यहाँ पे जो आपको लगता है यार कि ये हमने अपनी पिच में से एड्रेस नहीं करते या ये हमारी पिच डेक के अंदर मिसिंग है? मोइन, यू वांट टू, आप इसमें कुछ, मोइन, उस्मान, मिक्स करूँ कि कौन कौन है, जुहेर मेरे ख्याल में है, कौन है जो मुझे बताना चाहेंगे कि क्या क्या आप इसमें से कवर कर रहे हैं और क्या क्या आप इसमें से नहीं कवर करते? मोइन इज अवे.
जी
मोइन, आप ये 6 के 6 एरियाज कवर कर रहे हैं अपने पिच डेक में? द हुक, प्रोडक्ट, सर्विस, मार्केट, कंपटीशन, डिफरेंशिएशन, हाउ टू मेक मनी.
जी ऑलमोस्ट
Almost.
जी
तो
एक और है कि ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि इसके अंदर गो टू मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजी कैसे अपने कस्टमर एक्वायर करेंगे, दैट शुड बी इंक्लूडेड इन दिस पेज आल्सो है ना?
अच्छा, ओके, देखिए जो है GTM और गो टू मार्केट, राइट? Go to marketing strategy would come in the sixth point in terms of how you would make money. ठीक है, लेकिन याद रखें, you have to remember one thing कि you have very limited time to present this. देखिए आप लोगों के केस में 5 मिनट है. Ideally, I would want you, मैं अभी आपके मॉडल पे बात कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन ओवरऑल अगर मैं इस पे बात करूँ कि you would want to have 1 slide per point. So you would have 6 slides. And you would spend 30 seconds to 45 seconds max on each slide, and you will be done in 5 minutes. Depending upon कि आपकी pitch की nature क्या है, if you're going to somebody to get money, for example, आपके पास VC आ रहा है, आपको पैसा चाहिए, look at the optional 3 items I put at the end. Why financier should invest in you? Again, you would mention go to market, कैसे आप पैसे कमाएंगे, आप return कैसे करेंगे, वगैरह वगैरह. Description of investment needed and estimation of payback. So if you want investors to invest with you, you have to give them a roadmap कि जी आप हमारे से इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, इसमें आपको पहले साल में ये रिटर्न एंटिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, दूसरे साल में ये रिटर्न एंटिसिपेट कर रहे हैं, व्हाट नॉट. एंड अ रिक्वेस्ट फॉर फॉलो अप. तो अगर आपको लगता है कि द प्रेजेंटेशन वेंट वेल बट यू नीडेड मोर टाइम, तो यू वुड मे बी रिक्वेस्ट एट द एंड के इफ वी कुड हैव अनदर सेशन और वी कुड कैच अप अगेन इन 2 weeks time. Or if they had some questions जो आप आंसर नहीं कर पाए या कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन ऐसी थी जो आपके पास नहीं थी, you may again request them for time if they can give you that time. तो बिल्कुल गो टू मार्केट को आप ये हाउ वुड यू मेक मनी वाले पार्ट में इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. आप इसको मार्केट की डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, लेकिन you don't want to spend too much time on that because GTM strategy है वो एक अलग एरिया है, ठीक है. बट अगेन ऑफ कोर्स यू आर राइट कि यू वांट टू टेल देम कि आप उनके लिए पैसे कैसे कमाएंगे और पैसे कमाने के लिए आपका प्लान क्या है, तो वो डेफिनेटली फिर आप कहीं ना कहीं इंक्लूड करें.
इसी से लिंक अगर एक सवाल और है अगर आप
जी.
हमारी जो फाइनेंशियल मॉडल वो 5 साल का होता है तकरीबन. हम 5 साल का विजन 5 साल बनाते हैं. So but at the start when we are starting a startup, so it's all based on hypothetical data. Like first month I'll get 100 customers, next month I'll get 5,000 customers. So it's basically based on a hypothetical data. So how do you actually make that follow this, or at the end हमारे पास ये 1 साल के बाद इतना बचत होगा और हम इतना रेवेन्यू कमा लेंगे? Because at the now you are standing at a very beginning and start, you don't have any customers, so it's all hypothetically.
Okay. अच्छा, उसमें remember one thing. देखो at the start, Moin, you will be revising or changing your projections on a monthly basis. जब आपने स्टार्ट किया, स्टार्ट में हाइपोथेटिकल है, मैंने कहा जी 3 महीने बाद 500 कस्टमर्स हैं, 6 महीने बाद 1500 कस्टमर्स हैं, साल बाद 4000 कस्टमर्स हैं. So I am going to be changing those estimates as every month passes. मैंने कोई नई फीचर अपनी ऐप में लॉन्च कर दिया जिसकी वजह से ट्रैक्शन बढ़ गई है तो पॉजिटिव चेंज आएगा. मेरी डेट स्लिप हो गई है, टाइमलाइन स्लिप हो गई है तो नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आएगा. इम्पैक्ट जरूर आएगा. तो यू विल बी रिवाइजिंग दैट एंड विद दैट will change the kind of money that you need and the money you are spending. So typically companies जो बड़ी companies है, mature companies है, वो साल में एक दफा अपना बजट करती हैं. A small company startup will be looking at its budget on a monthly basis. And on that monthly basis, you will be trying to revise your projections based on whatever tangible achievements you have made, and you'll be changing your projections based on whatever challenges or problems that you're facing with your businesses. तो उसके मुताबिक आपको करके हर महीने आपको करना पड़ेगा. ये नहीं कर सकते कि मैंने तय कर लिया कि 3 महीने बाद 300 थे, 6 महीने बाद 500 थे, साल बाद 4000 थे, for example, and I'm just locked at that and I look at it after 1 year. No, I'm going to have to revise that every month, especially when I'm in the first year, 2 years of my company. थोड़ी सी maturity आएगी, थोड़ी सी stability आएगी, and then you'll start having a look at that after maybe a quarter. So, अब for example, जितनी भी public companies हैं जो स्टॉक मार्केट ट्रेड होती हैं, they report their results quarterly. So they have to present to their board and then to the Securities Exchange Commission their results after every quarter. Sales kitni hui, profit kitna hua, loss kitna hua, expense kitna hua. They do it on a quarterly basis. At one time, he was known as the king of good times. Taglines are great. A catchy tagline, you remember. For example, I have never had a fridge by Waves, by the way, but I remember this Waves, Nami Kafi hai. I'm sure all of you have heard of it, right? It's a catchy tagline. It's stuck with me, right? I've never had a Waves fridge. I have an LG fridge at home, but I remember this Waves, Nami Kafi hai. Or LG, life is good, right? So a catchy tagline can be something that can be really good to make people remember your product or your service or your offering. So when doing your product or service pitch, right? This KISS formula is really good. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Don't try complex. Don't try to add too much geek to it. You may be a tech guy, you may love programming, you may be really good at it, right? But the other people, they don't care. So try to limit your technology talk or your tech talk, or or the aspects that require a certain education to understand. And focus on customer benefits. Don't focus on technical benefits. So how? Let's come to KISS part, right? So ये example दिया हुआ है. The wrong way of doing it. Our technology is the first integrated and automated book scanner that will scan and digitize bound documents of 1,200 pages per minute at a fraction of the cost of existing solutions, based on a disruptive digital imaging technology initially developed at Bell Labs and protected by 12 patents. I'm sure some of you understood it. I understand it. Okay? कि वो क्या करना चाह रहे हैं, but it's too complex. The better way to do it, we capture the future of knowledge by seamlessly digitizing physical libraries at a very low cost. Everyone understood that part. आप फर्क देख रहे हैं, ऊपर उसने वही बात की है, कुछ आप में से अच्छा मजे की बात क्या है. आई एम श्योर सम टेक पीपल, आप में से जो टेक्नोलॉजी भी लोग हैं, वो कहते हुए नहीं यार, ऊपर वाला तो जबरदस्त लिखा हुआ, ये ऊपर वाले की तरह लिखना चाहिए था. But and between me and you, I also like the way the top one is written personally. But I know the top one will not fly with a VC, for example. So you want to make sure that you know, जो मैंने बात की थी, know your audience. हाँ, मुझे किसी CTO को अपनी कंपनी में लेकर आना है, and I'm presenting to Moin who I want to be my CTO in my company, तो मैं उसको ऊपर वाली डिस्क्रिप्शन दूंगा. I'm going to a VC for funding, मैं उसको नीचे वाली डिस्क्रिप्शन. I think I have a question. Let me check. Chat OCR. हाँ, ठीक है, वो OCR वाला काम करने लगे हैं. लेकिन OCR, not everyone knows optical character recognition. So we want to use words that are very like digitizing. तो वो मतलब के बड़े simple words में we have put it.
ये जो ऊपर वाली डिस्क्रिप्शन मैंने पढ़ी थी, तो वो पढ़ के OCR जहन में आया था, बट आपकी बात सही है, मुझे भी ऊपर वाला अच्छा लग रहा था नीचे वाले के मुकाबले में, और वो सम अप होके भी मुश्किल ही लग रहा है कि ऑप्टिकल कैरेक्टर रिकग्निशन की बात हो रही है, वो अगेन नहीं समझ में आएगा, लेकिन कैम स्कैनर समझ में आ रहा होता है यहाँ पे लोगों को कि अच्छा उसके जरिए जो होता है, तो द रिजल्ट इज OCR द एंड.
हाँ, तो इसमें आप देखिए नीचे मैंने लिखा हुआ है कि वी आर डिजिटाइजिंग फिजिकल लाइब्रेरीज. तो फिजिकल लाइब्रेरी सबको पता है, हमें पता है कि हमेशा लाइब्रेरी कोई नहीं जाता, तो अगर मुझे पता है कि वही बुक्स मुझे डिजिटल फॉर्म में अवेलेबल होंगी एट वेरी लो कॉस्ट, दैट बी ग्रेट. तो बेसिकली हम ये काम करना चाह रहे हैं इस एग्जांपल में. ओके, another example, जब geek है, we provide non-penetrable intrusion detection for digital voice, fax and wireless communication with our 2048-bit Hellman encryption algorithm that is combined with the latest 168-bit Hellman DES. Again, technically great, but to a normal guy, it's all jargon. We allow you to communicate safely in a broad range of digital devices. So I hope आप लोगों को समझ आ रही है मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूँ, जो मैसेज देना चाह रहा हूँ ना, कि ये नहीं कि ऊपर वाला गलत है, लेकिन from the perspective of elevator pitch, a VC pitch, right, it is wrong. क्योंकि वो चीज डाइजेस्ट ही नहीं होगी आम बंदे को. You want to make it that everyone, like I said, know your audience. Your audience has to understand it. Achha, now I spoke about, you want to talk about business benefits and not just technical benefits. So don't talk about seamless integration, scalable, adaptive. हम सब ने ये words use किए, मैं खुद ये बहुत use करता हूँ. Secure networking improves network performance. जबरदस्त बातें, they're great. But that is not what the VC is looking at. Increase your revenues, increase your efficiency, reduce your risk, cut your cost by 30%. ये चीज है जिस पे मुझे focus करना है. This is good to have technically, ये जबरदस्त काम है, but I want to focus on this part. I have another. Okay. तो हाँ, तो you want to make sure कि आप उसको इस तरह करें कि आप you are focusing more on the business aspect rather than just talking about technology. And now something that is seamless, it has seamless integration. I am a developer. It adds a lot of value to me. It can be seamlessly integrated. My VC is sitting as a chartered accountant. He or she doesn't know what the hell is seamless integration. And even if you explain to him, he or she won't understand what is the benefit of seamless integration. So you want to make sure that you explain it in words, in ways that have business benefits. ये ज़हन में रखिएगा. Okay. Okay. So now we come to the marketing pitch. Okay. So you want to tie your, like I said, you want to tie your pitch or your idea to some burning problem or burning question, right? So for example, you say that, we allow any cell phone to work anyway inside buildings that utilize our wireless network solution. Or you try to, if you have a reference or a brand that is using your current solution, आपको use कर रहा है, right? तो आप उसको फिर कह सकते हैं कि if possible, you reference a brand or whatever. So the Civil Aviation Authority has determined that we are the only security system that is able to rapidly move people through security checkpoints while exceeding their security needs. Or if आपने अगर किसी और तरह टाई करना है तो आप मार्केट साइज से टाई करें. जैसे मैंने क्रीम की एग्जांपल दी थी या बाइकिया की दी थी, that in Pakistan there are more than 10 million bikes, for example. and each bike represents an opportunity for the earner to earn money and earn a better living. So यहाँ पे example दी हुई, according to the Ministry of Health, there are 500 hospitals in Pakistan that need the ability to visualize MRI images in 3D. So आपने किसी burning need के साथ उसको tie करना है अपने उस pitch को, ठीक है? किसी ने वो क्वेश्चन स्टार्ट में था, मैंने कहा था I'll get back to it, मैं अपनी pitch पे भी आऊंगा, competition की बात की थी. Always acknowledge your competition. Don't try to ignore it. If you are launching an online store in Pakistan, acknowledge Daraz exists. Don't be so arrogant कि आप competition में Daraz नहीं जी, Daraz हमको मसला ही नहीं है. Give your competition due respect, right? Because if you don't, then most likely your investors won't take you seriously. Not only do you need to acknowledge your competition, you need to have ways to mitigate and manage your competition as well. But that all starts from you firstly acknowledging that your competition exists. Your competition market में मौजूद है. और ये भी acknowledge करना कि in like this example आप ऐसी चीज बता रहे हैं जो Microsoft किसी product से compete करती है. That that you have competition that's the size of an elephant. Then you have to work out ways how you're going to compete and beat that elephant up. So, for example, मैं अपनी वही wireless वाली example दे रहा हूँ कि there are many vendors that provide internet wireless networks like Linksys and Cisco, two of the largest companies in the world who do that. While no firm offers a service packaging as comprehensive as ours, companies like PetSmart and blah 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 do offer some pet daycare and grooming options. तो आप अगर for example मैं अब ऊपर वाले को complete करता हूँ example को, there are many vendors that provide internet wireless networks like Linksys and Cisco. However, our offering of providing internet coverage for cell phone devices is unparalleled and unmatched with the security, lower capital cost, and extremely low operation costs for our service. So you want to acknowledge competition and then put in 1, 2, 3 words, phrases, sentences that would differentiate your product from what is available in the market. So you want to make sure that you focus on that part. Okay, what is the key difference between investor pitch, business pitch, and a competition pitch? Okay, I mean, there should be, okay. Achha. So what are differences between investor pitch, business pitch, and a competition pitch, right? So the first one, the word says it all. The word says it all, an investor pitch, right? An investor pitch is something that where you are trying to get somebody to invest in your company, right? These are the most difficult pitches. A business pitch is relatively easier. It is where you want to pitch a business idea to somebody, right? To get a consent for that business idea. A business pitch could be internal. For example, I work at Google and I have an idea that Google should have their own email service. So I pitch internally that, let's develop our own email service. And this could become a good revenue stream, blah, blah, blah. So you could have an idea within a company for a business pitch. A competition pitch could be where, Lumps hosts an event where they have pitches. And there again, you would go in. But the biggest one is the investor pitch. The biggest difference between the three is an investor pitch would be focused a lot on 1, your business benefits, 2, your financial projections, and 3, the projected return on investment for your investors. So with an investor pitch, you're trying to get money from somebody, right? Extremely important that when you're trying to get money from somebody, it is going to be a difficult task. यहाँ पे मैं बात पूछना चाहता हूँ before I go forward is how many of you, and I want to see hands raised, have watched Shark Tank? कितने लोगों ने देखा है? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 5. Okay, so people good. So people have watched Shark Tank. Okay, I personally love Shark Tank. Right, I have seen every episode of Shark Tank Global and Shark Tank US. I find Shark Tank a very good way of understanding what pitches are and how we should pitch. And I have personally learned a lot from Shark Tank. I have a small video I want to show you, and then I will discuss this video once it's over. Give me a second. Let me share that video. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see where that video is. Okay, so I'm going to share this video. I want you to see this video, and then I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want to judge what you understood from this. This is a pitch, right? This is a pitch, and then I want to judge and gauge what you have understood so far from what we have learned. Okay, so hang on a second. Okay, so can everyone see the video? Asfar, you want to confirm that the video is visible?
Yes, the video is visible.
Okay, I'll play it, and just confirm to me the sound. You can hear the sound as well.
Sound is clear.
Hello, gentlemen. My name is Steve Gadlin, and my company is I Want to Draw a Cat for You. I'm seeking a $10,000 investment in exchange for 25% of my company. Little music, maestro. Hey there, sharks. My name is Steve. I got an offer that you won't believe. For the low, low price of just 10 grand, you get a quarter of my company, understand? You go to my site, you describe a cat, I draw it, I mail it, it's as easy as that. I'd invest if I were you, and I want to draw a cat for you. I'll draw you a cat that's short and fat. I'll draw you a cat with a pork pie hat. I'll draw you a cat, whatever the vibe. I draw the cat that you describe. I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you.
Well done.
Wow.
Love the dancing.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
That's my signature move. Now, by now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, how did this idiot make his way into the Shark Tank? Well, let me tell you, there is an economy for stupid, and I am overflowing with it. Now, with their universal appeal, my cat drawings are poised to be the next pet rock. I charge people $9.95 for my cat drawings. $9.32 of that is profit. I took the liberty of drawing some cats for each of you, ones I thought you might order if you came to the website. So, Rod, I know that.
Thank you, Steve.
Barbara, you just closed the deal, and you're looking fabulous.
Vroom, vroom. Mr.
Wonderful, you're taking your morning bath and your tub bath. Damon, here's a fancy man about the town. And Mark, congratulations on your championship.
Sir?
Customers who put these drawings to start their own cat drawing gallery.
Why are people buying?
People they're fighting an octopus and a T-Rex on the moon.
So they try to test you for like bizarro stuff.
This is going to go up on the website. They want to show off their crazy.
So you post all the drawings on the website.
And then they share them, and then they post cat drawings to outdo one another. And there are some people who take this very seriously.
You draw these yourself?
I draw myself. I sit at the table and I I take this person's very personal request, let it play around in my head for about a minute, and then I can knock one of these out in about 2 minutes.
How leverageable is that? How many can you draw in a day?
I can draw about 25 of these in an hour. In a week, I can knock out about 1,000 of these. But that's just with me doing this by myself. You know, as this business grows, because of the profit margin, it starts to pay for its own growth. So the really nice thing about this is I'm a web developer. When I'm not drawing cats, I'm building websites. So I don't have that overhead that any other company would have.
What are your sales today?
Okay, I've sold over 1,200 of these cats.
In what period of time?
This is about a year.
Steve, what do you do with my $10,000 if I give it to you?
What I'd first like to do is build out my e-commerce platform that I have and grow it even further. The other thing I want to do is start dabbling into things like greeting cards.
I love the shtick. I love the dancing. Barbara was getting excited when you turned your behind. So it's all very exciting. But how does this go from $9,000 to $100,000?
Well, here's the leap of faith. Working with me on this, you're partnering with one of the most creative minds, period. I strike gold in very unpredictable ways. What you guys bring to that is the business acumen to take those ideas. We have a fun little marriage there, and I believe my ideas are billion-dollar ideas.
The problem is every business model, it's all about Steve. Nothing wrong with that, but what happens if you're walking outside and a meteorite crushes you into road pizza?
Steve, you've convinced me you're a very creative guy, but am I buying into Steve, the creative guy, taking a leap of faith and saying, let's go, baby, we'll figure out the business tomorrow? Or are you trying to sell me the cat business?
I'm trying to sell you the cat business and a partnership with me. I have so many ideas which will seem at face value equally as stupid as this.
So obviously PR is the big push because you're not out there spending money to drive people to your website.
Yeah, there are no cat drawing fairs or...
So tell me about the publicity process.
So I'm a real hustler for everything I do. I tend to bring a lot of press attention to what I do on a local level. I emailed Groupon. I knew they had a cat mascot, and I said, hey, I draw cats. Do you guys want to do a Groupon for this? I got a response the next day. And then, you know, on Black Friday, we launched it, and it was one of their most successful. It sold out very quickly.
And how many did you commit to do?
Well, the nice thing about Groupon is 1,000 people said, I'm buying, but only about half of them ever actually redeemed.
So you got to keep the money.
Exactly.
Look, very interesting, really small dollars, not investable from my point of view.
Can I tell you something, Kevin?
You know what I'm
let him
about to
go
say.
out. Just let him go out.
I want you to go out, and then I want you to go back to your hotel tonight, put your head on your pillow. I promise you, the last thing that's going through your head before you go to sleep is I want to draw a cat for you. I want to draw a cat for you.
I beg you, please, let me do this. I'm out.
Okay, I accept it, and I'd like to counter, if I could.
So, Steve, you've done a phenomenal job of free PR, but does it worry you that after all this PR, that the net result is 7,000? I'm out.
These guys just don't get it. I get it. I love your creativity.
Thank you.
I'll give you 25 grand for 33%. Just say yes. 25 grand, 33%.
Oh man.
Because if you say no, that means you don't really want to work.
I'm interested.
I'm interested. Hold on.
I'm the one that knows technology. I'm the one who gets
dirty
it.
trick. He's done it before.
I'm not gonna go in a bidding war over a cat guy.
Steve, you got to make a call here.
No, Mark, I would love to partner with you on this. I want to ask one thing.
What's that?
Maybe 1 in 1,000 cats. Will you pitch in and draw it for me?
Yes.
You got a deal.
Done. I love it. You're hysterical.
Thank you very much. I'm very
Like this? Hit it.
To the side.
Turn right, ready? Turn around.
That is ugly.
No, it's not. It's good.
Okay.
Let me come back to my presentation. So did everyone see that? Sabne dekha? I want to now get some feedback before I share something. Okay, what is your feedback on that? I want at least 2-3 people to give me feedback on that. Okay, what did you understand from that presentation? Ji Moin, I can't hear you.
I'll start with the style that he pitched. It was kind of funny, not a serious kind of business. And or he was making a drawing which he wants to try to sell to the people who want a cat drawing. So the scalability issue also, he does not have any team, or he is alone, or उसने कहा कि जब वो cat नहीं draw करता, so he's a developer, he used to develop something. So he has in mind that this business is not a scalable business. So on the part time, he do web development. So he himself not sure on the business idea that he has. Plus the funny part and the business seriousness is lacking. Nothing.
Okay. Anyone else?
Though it was funny in the starting, lekin he created the impact and remained in the subconscious of the judges. And the thing was he knew what he was doing, and he know कि कितने pictures बना सकते हो, क्या कर सकते हो. He knew all the things, and that was the key actually. वो जो भी आखिर में एक investor agree हुआ, लेकिन it was the thing, though it was stupid, though it was funny, but it created the impact and he remained in the mind of the
exactly. I mean, see, this is exactly the point. See, like I said, I've watched all the 11 seasons of Shark Tank, right? I've seen every one. The reason why this particular pitch stayed in my mind was this was an absolute insane idea, right? And he himself admitted that this is a stupid idea, but then again, there's an economy for stupid. But the thing is that the person who invested, Mark Cuban, right? Mark Cuban is the richest out of all those 5 investors. And in fact, he's probably one of the richest VCs in the world. He's worth about $3 billion. He actively invests in companies. To get a person like Mark Cuban on your side to agree with you, the fact was that you don't have to have the best idea in the world. You don't have to be building rockets for NASA, right? You could have a very simple idea. The way he presented it, with his dance and those lyrics, right? Excuse me. And the way he was handling the questions, he didn't pause for a second. वो कहीं भी confused नहीं हुआ. And even where Kevin O'Leary said, I'm out. And he stopped him and said that before you go to sleep at night, you'll be thinking of, I want to draw a cat for you, right? His quickness, his wittiness, right? How clever, how sharp he was with such a silly idea, right? So imagine this kind of person having a great idea. आप सोचें कि अगर वो इस idea में he got a person like Mark Cuban to invest. So imagine if he has a fantastic idea. He'd be making millions, right? So the purpose of showing you this particular video was you don't have to have the best idea in the world. If somebody says to you, oh yaar, ye to badi simple cheez hai, ye to kuch bhi nahi hai. I showed you this video to let you know that there's no idea in the world that is silly or stupid, right? आप सबके ideas इस idea से 500 गुना अच्छे हैं, कम से कम. लेकिन look, he got an investment and none of you have an investment from Mark Cuban. I don't have an investment from Mark Cuban. So I mean, I've shown this video at least 15 times. And I mean, every time I look at the video, like I was watching it with you, I always notice some new aspect of the video, right? And I mean, with me, what I noticed this time was that the fact that he was answering questions it was as if he was having a conversation with friends. वो लग ही नहीं रहा था कि पहली दफा इनसे मिल रहा है, पहली दफा interact कर रहा है. He was so comfortable, so relaxed, even though he knew he had an absolutely crazy idea. So keep that in mind, that you don't have to have the most, a brilliant idea in the world. It's how you present it, the way he presented, the way he delivered. Tagline, if you remember, I spoke about tagline. His tagline was that dance that he had Mark Cuban do with him at the end. When Mark Cuban made him an offer of $25,000 for 33%, he was willing to give 25% of the company for $10,000. So he was valuing his company at $40,000. Mark Cuban increased his valuation to $75,000. But he still asked Mark for something at the end when Mark made him an offer. आपको याद है आखिर में उसने क्या कहा कि will you pitch in and draw in 1 out of 100 cats? So what happened after this episode, just to let you guys know, was that they ran this for about 2.5 years, and they started doing other things. They sold about 12,000 cat drawings at about $10 each. So that's $120,000. Plus, every drawing that Mark Cuban made, he charged $1,000 for it, right? So they made a small amount of money for that guy with this crazy idea. But then he got so much fame and so much such PR and such connections that he started doing other things as well. So it is about how you interact with people, what kind of impression you leave behind. So I'm sure कि sharks को आज भी लगे ये pitch काफी पुरानी है. I think this was season 3. आज भी उनको ये बंदा याद होगा कि यार एक ऐसा आदमी आया था वो डांस यूं करके डांस कर रहा था and he pitched this cat drawing thing that Mark actually invested in. So keep that in mind, right? I want you to all keep that in mind, that it's not about having the most brilliant idea in the world. It's about how you convey and how you present your idea as well. Acha, you want to use, how do you neutralize a competition? Like I said, you differentiate. So for example, abhi vaccines aa rahi hain COVID ki. So Covaxin is a vaccine which is a single shot vaccine, right? Pfizer ki 2-shot vaccine hai. And the other vaccine which is going to be 3-shot. So if I'm making the 1-shot vaccine, so I'll proudly say that my company, we are developing a 1-shot vaccine, whereas competition is offering a 2 or 3-shot vaccine, right? So you want to find ways to differentiate your offering and differentiate what you're offering. You don't want to आप competition को नीचा नहीं दिखाना चाह रहे. Remember, you don't want to degrade the competition, because then you will sound cocky. You want to differentiate yourself कि वो ये कर रहे हैं पर this is what we are doing. So handle that tactfully. Okay, so you want to describe how you're going to make money, right? You want to describe how you will earn money, how you will generate revenue, and what will be your top line and your bottom line. You have to be very clear. वो जो बात की थी मेरे एक साथी ने go to market plan की GTM की, you want to convey in that or out of that कि how will you make money, what kind of things will you do that will be able to earn your investors some money. Okay, so ये बड़ी जरूरी चीज है. I want to spend 5 minutes on this. ये cat वाला example आप देखें. Do you really think Mark Cuban would invest in a cat drawing company? अगर आपने Mark Cuban के comments सुने थे throughout वो pitch में जब बोल रहा था, आखिर में भी कहा कि this guy is so creative. Mark Cuban invested in the guy. Investors invest in people, in teams, not just the product, because they know if you have a great team, that great team can create multiple great products, right? So when you want to describe your company, your organization, your product, you want to talk about what your team has that differentiates your team. Like for example, our co-founders have 20 years of combined experience in the telecom industry, or our executives have been, our board includes 2 top execs in the restaurant industry, etc., etc. You want to talk about what your team or what you have done that sets you apart from competition. Because देखिए, अगर आप एक प्रोडक्ट अभी बना रहे हैं ना, जैसे आप सब लोग हैं, आपने भी कुछ बनाया नहीं ना, बना रहे हैं अभी, आपने बनाना है, you want to make it. So at the moment you don't have a product. आप ये नहीं कह सकते कि we have made this app which has been downloaded 1 million times. You can't say that at the moment. What you can say is what your team has done. Me and my partners, we have a combined 10 years experience in the IT industry where we have done projects like this. But you want to talk about what sets your team apart. Very, very important, right? यहाँ chat में कोई कुछ लिखा है. Okay. So you want to talk about that. So make sure you have in your presentation, you don't have to have to have it in writing, you could have it verbally. Why would somebody want to invest in you, your team, your company? You, your team, your company. So you need to make sure that you cover that part. Very important, right? Because people invest in people, not just in a product. Okay. Okay, so you want to, how do you end a presentation? Especially your presentation, jo aapki, with the purpose of getting funding, for example. You know, you may want to ask for another presentation or ask for more time. That could be one way. If your audience hasn't asked you a lot, you may request them for their feedback. Like the dusra point in green, given your background, I would greatly appreciate your feedback. What do you think of our business model? So if I have a group of financial people sitting in front of me and I have presented my go-to-market strategy or my growth plan, I would love if some of them gave, yeah, these numbers aren't realistic, or, you know, this, you haven't considered this, or you haven't considered this, or you should do this, or you should do this, or you should do model like this. You could get some really good feedback, right? Or if they have a lot of contacts, right? You may want to ask them, you know, that, you know, could you recommend that somebody who could join our board? It's very important that once your organization का कोई structure बने, आप उसका एक board बना लें. These board members are usually not paid, right? They're non-executive members, but a board, the benefit of a board is that a board has senior people as part of it who provide guidance, direction, right? To your company, how you pitch your products. And it's very good to develop a board. Can start off with a couple of people, and there are companies which have a board of 10 people. Bade board, and there are, for example, Tesla has a board of 12 people, right? So from different verticals, उन्होंने लोग डाल के board बनाया होता है. That board meets maybe once every months or a year, right? Or they meet online, but they meet, they talk, they discuss, you know, share ideas and brainstorm. Very important. Very good for a card, for contact info if you want to reach out to them directly. And for example, आपकी presentation में मैं उल्टी example लेता हूँ. Some tech, and they ask a lot of questions related to technology, right? And obviously you have limited time, so you couldn't answer them in detail. So you may want to, maybe my technology director would get back to you. If I could have your business card, we can maybe discuss this further, right? So you want to make sure that that you can engage the team, the people in some way where you can communicate with them again. You don't want to leave a pitch, the people are not reading anymore. उठ के चले गए बस, अब पता ही नहीं वो कौन थे, क्या थे, दोबारा मिलेंगे कि नहीं. Try to remain connected to some people, because you may not get the money you were after, but you may get really good contacts, really good recommendations, really good guidance that could really benefit you in the future. वो चीज को आप बिल्कुल उसको में ध्यान रखें. Okay, ये मैंने एक तो एग्जांपल्स दिए, मैं आखिर में to wrap it up, right? So ये वो मैंने 6 चीजें ऐड की हैं, अगर आपको याद होगा. These are the 6 things I've added. Book. Have you ever had your cell phone fail inside a building? Right. So इसका answer है yes. I mean, I've had real problems in high buildings. We provide a wireless communication network that enables any cell phone to work anywhere inside all types of buildings, while ensuring your communications are secure. तो ये हो गया आपका product. Market क्या है? ETS determined that over 60% of the 5 million commercial buildings in Pakistan inhibit wireless or cell phone communication from within. This percentage is even higher in international markets, suggesting a huge need for better wireless communication. Now, आपने बता दिया कि market size क्या है, market क्या है, कितनी बड़ी है, क्या potential है market, ठीक है? Competition. There are many vendors that provide internal wireless networks like Linksys and Cisco. However, we are the only vendor that enables communication to penetrate steel and other high-density construction materials, which significantly reduces the cost of installation. ये बाबा मैं differentiated डाल दिया. आखिर में, we can install the wireless server in your building at no charge, then charge a usage fee for all calls that we carry on our network. तब आपने मतलब कि इसको एक revenue share model में offer कर दी. Simple example of a pitch, ठीक है? So with that, time भी हो गया है नमाज का. It's almost done. We have 10 to 15 minutes left. I want to open the floor for questioning. Before I do, I just want to wrap it up by saying that I was asked a question in the middle about my first pitch. So my first pitch was approximately 19 years ago, right? Me and one of my university teachers and two of his friends. So we were 4 people. We had formed a small company, right? And we were the pioneers of creating call centers in Pakistan, right? International call centers as well as outsourced local call centers. And we went to a group, VC company called TMT Ventures, based out of Karachi, for funding. So at that time, I was 21. My teacher was 24, and his friends were the same age, right? So we were presenting to a very strong group of people, which included the president of Habib Bank, the chairman of TMT Ventures, the chairman of Park Qatar Investment Corporation. So there were like 6-7 people with gray hair who we were presenting to, right? And I mean, it was difficult because we were young boys, right? And this was a group of people who were really mature, powerful, had experience more than our ages, and we were trying to get funding from them, right? And not just small amount. I think we were after 60 million at that time. And I mean, one of the questions we got asked, my teacher, who was the CEO of our company, he was doing most of the talking, was, how old are all of you, right? And he said the average age is about 23. And a couple of people actually laughed. But alhamdulillah, we were very well prepared. We knew why we wanted the money, what we were going to do with it, how we were going to return it with profit, how it would be a valuable investment for them. And we got that funding in the end, right? It took about 4 months, I think 5-6 presentations, a couple of audits, but we ended up getting that money. And yeah, it was, I still remember it very well. And it was a very, very memorable experience. I was very scared at that time, I remember, because I was like, these are such senior people. Because when we had come into the room, into the conference room, their visiting cards were ready on the seats we were going to sit on. So I already knew that these people were here, right? And it was nerve-wracking to be 20, 21 and presenting to these people. And for us, it was make or break, that we either get the money and we can, keep running our business and grow it, or we'd be in a lot of trouble. So yeah, that was my first pitch. And I learned a lot from it. And your first few experiences, you learn quite a lot from them. I have some questions on chat or some comments on chat. Let me open feedback form. Yes, that's correct. Okay, I'll share the video page. Sure, I'll share the link. That's not a problem. In fact, I'll just paste it here. Hang on a second. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me. They're available on Daily Motion. Has a lot of them. This is the template if you want. It's here. So if Shark Tank is great the way, I'd encourage you all to watch it regularly. It's a fantastic show. A lot to learn from it. Any more questions, guys? Very quiet audience. A lot of questions. Any questions from us at NIC? They're also very quiet.
सर हम बड़े से बैठ के आपको सुन रहे हैं, तो बेहतर एक और हो सकता है कि मे बी आने वाले कुछ दिनों में जब आप अवेलेबल हो, so maybe we can do a session जिसके अंदर स्टार्टअप्स पिच करें और लाइव फीडबैक में हो, क्योंकि ये चैलेंज है जो आपने बताया कि आप पिचिंग में आए थे और हमने पिचिंग होने से पहले भी इस तरह का एक सेशन करवाया था कि इनको मतलब जो शार्क है वो शार्क इसलिए है कि दे आस्क क्वेश्चंस दैट यू आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ. जब आपको पता होता है तो फिर वो शार्क नीचे डॉल्फिन लगने लगे, तो वो समझने की जरूरत होती है कि क्या क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं. हमें अपनी मार्केट का पता होना चाहिए. हमारे कुछ स्टार्टअप हैं, आई थिंक सो खिजर अभी सेशन में हमारे साथ मौजूद नहीं है, लेकिन खिजर से ये चीज मैंने सीखी थी. तो खिजर ने कहा था कि यार मुझे अपने लास्ट आवर तक का पता है नहीं, मैंने 1 घंटे में कितना काम करना है, कितने लोगों ने मिलके करना है, उससे कितने पैसे कमाएंगे और हम कितना काम महीने में करेंगे, तो हमें पता चल जाएगा कि हमें आगे कहाँ तक पहुंचना है। तो वो जो यूनिट इकोनॉमी है ना, वहां तक सोच लिया उन्होंने। सो वो प्रैक्टिस के साथ आ रहा होता है कि कौन कितना काम पहले सीख कर आ रहा है। लेकिन ये सबसे अच्छी बात ये होती है एनआईसी के अंदर कि सब एक दूसरे से चीजें डिस्कस करते हैं और उसकी बेसिस के ऊपर हम चीजें इंप्रूव कर रहे होते हैं। सो हम इस तरह के सेशंस कोशिश करेंगे मजीद ऑर्गेनाइज करवा सकें। अगर हमारे स्टार्टअप्स हमारे साथ फीडबैक जो हमारे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स बने हुए उस पर शेयर करें, तो हम ये चाह रहे थे कि हम जनवरी के अंदर कुछ 2-4 सेशन जरूर करवा लें, बिल्कुल इनिशिएशन के अंदर। उसमें बेसिक आइडिया ये था कि लीगल समझ में आ जाए, प्रेजेंटेशन पिचिंग समझ में आ जाए, कुछ और जो चैलेंजेस आ रहे थे स्टार्टअप्स के शुरू में वो रिजॉल्व होते हैं, तो उसके बाद जो है वो कोड अच्छे तरीके से चल रहा होता है। तो ऑफर तो हम सारे कोड्स को कर रहे होते हैं। सो मैं तो आपको बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करूंगा। अगेन मुझे शार्क टैंक के बारे में भी हमारे एक और स्टार्टअप नहीं बताया था, तो ही ऑल्सो डज द सेम थिंग कि वो बैठता है, देखता है। और दानियाल नाम है उनका, सोशल जंक्शन स्टार्टअप है कोट वन का। तो वो रीजन यही है कि आपको आइडिया हो जाता है कि कौन क्या पूछ सकता है, क्योंकि अगला पैसा देने जा रहा है तो वो पैसा कोई आपको बिला वजह नहीं देगा। दे नीड अ वेरी सॉलिड रीजन। सो आपने काफी सारी चीजें इसके अंदर हमें जो है जिसे कहते हैं ना कि शेयर की कि हम किस किस तरीके से उनको जो है इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं पिचिंग को। अलीजे ये आपने फीडबैक फॉर्म, हाँ तो ये वन लास्ट थिंग फ्रॉम आवर साइड कि एक फीडबैक फॉर्म है जो अलीजे ने यहाँ पे लिंक शेयर कर दिया है। सो उसके जरिए जो है हमारे स्टार्टअप जो है वो हमें फीडबैक दे सकते हैं कि उनको सेशन कैसा लगा या वो मजीद किस टॉपिक के ऊपर बात करना चाहेंगे। सर आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, इतना इंगेजिंग सेशन था, ये तकरीबन 2 घंटे हमारा सेशन चला है। सो आई लव द सेशन अलॉट, क्योंकि ये वो चीज़ है जिस पे आप बार बार बात कर रहे होते हैं और बार बार हमें सीखने को मिल रहा होता है कि हम कौन सी चीज़ें कैसे कर रहे हैं, इसमें क्या चीज़ें इंप्रूव की जा सकती हैं। तो मुझे याद है एक स्लाइड जो बीच में आपने भी दिखाई थी कि ये की पॉइंट्स जरूर एड्रेस्ड होने चाहिए कि अपने कॉम्पिटिटर का पता होना चाहिए, आप किस तरीके से काम करेंगे, कैसे टारगेट मार्केट क्या होगी। दीज आर द क्वेश्चंस दैट द शार्क्स आर गोइंग टू आस्क यू। अगर हमें नहीं पता होता तो फिर हम नाराज होते हैं, लेकिन अगर हमें पहले से पता हो, क्योंकि हम इसके कुछ दिन बाद जो है हम एक सेशन करवाएंगे, हमारा जो इन्वेस्टर समिट है। सो इन्वेस्टर्स यही क्वेश्चंस कर रहे होते हैं, वो यही पूछते हैं कि जी कंपनी रजिस्टर्ड है, अच्छा रजिस्टर्ड है तो बिजनेस बताएं। दीज आर द क्वेश्चंस वो पूछते हैं। जो ये आंसर कर देता है उसको इन्वेस्टमेंट मिल जाती है, जो ये आंसर नहीं करता है सो दे शुड लर्न फ्रॉम इट। तो रीजन यही है कि ये सेशन पहले इस तरह का करवा लिया जाए ताकि वहां पे जाकर के परेशानी ना हो, बल्कि वहां पे आप फ्लरिश करें, अच्छे तरीके से सामने हैं। सो सर थैंक्स अलॉट। आई थिंक सो असफर भाई हमारे साथ अभी सेशन में नहीं है बिकॉज ही हैड टू गो होम, तो वो फिर एनआईसी से जो है घर की तरफ निकले थे। ट्रैफिक का कराची में इस वक्त बड़ा मसला हुआ है। सो एक तरफ शहरी बड़े खुश हैं कि क्रिकेट हो रही है, टेस्ट क्रिकेट हो रही है, सेंचुरी बन गई है, लेकिन कराची वाले जो है वो एक साइड से दूसरी साइड में सिटी में जब जा रहे होते हैं तो बीच में शराब फसल आती है, वो ब्लॉक हो रही है, तो वो परेशान भी हो रहे हैं। सो आई थिंक सो ही हैड टू लीव बिकॉज ऑफ दैट। तो वंस अगेन थैंक्स अलॉट। और हम बल्कि सेशन पहले होता, तबीयत का पूछने का हमें मौका नहीं मिला था कि आप कुछ दिन पहले तबीयत नासाज थी, बट वी आर ग्लैड आप अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह जबरदस्त लग रहे हैं हमें यहाँ पे सेशन के अंदर। सो अल्लाह ताला सबको जो है कोविड से महफूज रखे और हम इसी तरह ये चीजें अच्छे तरीके से करें। कि लास्ट ईयर बल्कि मुझे याद है मैं वहाँ एनआईटीबी की बिल्डिंग के पीछे मौजूद था। सो दैट वाज एनआईटी इस्लामाबाद। तो वो आखिरी आई थिंक सो एक बड़ा हमारा खुशगवार इवेंट था जो 5 एनआईसी कर रहे थे कि पिचिंग वगैरह हुई है, उसके बाद फिर कोविड आया है। सो कराची का भी आई थिंक सो जो पिचिंग का सेशन था हमारा लास्ट फिजिकल, वो पिछले साल इन्हीं डेट्स में हो रहा था, लेकिन फिर एट द वेरी मोमेंट वो ग्लोबल पहले चैलेंज शुरू हुआ था कोविड का और फिर वो फैलता गया, फिर चीजें हाइब्रिड वगैरह पे चल रही हैं। सो ये तीन चार चीजें थी जो अब आप पूछ रहे थे खामोशी की बात, तो हम सेशन के बीच में हम बोलते नहीं है कि आपका रब्त ना टूटे, तो मुझे तो याद आ रहा था।
इंटरेक्शन अच्छी रहती है, एक्चुअली इंटरेक्शन अच्छी रहती है।
सो थैंक्स लॉट सर। और अगर अभी किसी के पास कोई क्वेश्चन है तो वो पूछ सकते हैं, और हम आपसे इजाजत ले लें अगर आप से करना चाहें स्टार्टअप्स, तो हम आपका क्या
मेरा ईमेल
ठीक है सर, तो चलें वो हम बिल्कुल उनके साथ।
Islamat here I work as a supervisor with NUST. जो final year projects करते हैं students, I work with them. I choose 3 groups every year. I spend a year in with. So it is something that who has passion, मुझे शौक है, and I'll be more than happy to help, not just in pitching but even growing your business, helping you get funding, right? I'd love to help. So koi bhi group ho, they're most welcome to get in touch with me.